What is going on, Black Mold TV family? Today's video, we're going to be reviewing passport bros, right? Because I got a video the other day and I really want to find out what's actually going on between the male and females up in the Western society, because it seemed to be a breakdown in the family, seemed to be a breakdown in relationships, seemed to be a breakdown in love, just generally altogether. And if that's the case, then that means there's going to be no legacy, there's going to be no future, there's going to be no society, there's going to be no community. So I want to react to this video and I want you guys to leave your comments down below and let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Is this an agenda? Is this something that's going on behind the scenes? Is this something that's real? And if you have any other videos that you want me to react to, you know, send me the email.
Oh, have you heard of passport bros?
What is a passport bro?
Okay, passport bros are men that are so fed up with Western women because we're all apparently so woke and so terrible and Western women don't want to be wives that they are now going to other countries to find wives.
Wife material.
That's like which countries?
Southeast Asia, the Philippines, the Dominican Republic.
So it's like the opposite of the mail order bride.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
okay.
So a lot of these men get remote jobs. And so they go there and they live in these countries and then they meet these women. And then women in the Western world, specifically the United States, are so pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to all these countries where these women don't even know how to speak English. They can't even read. They're so uneducated. And then the men like film themselves with these women and like show themselves on dates. And the women are so elegant and they're so well spoken and they're so traditional. And they're like, look at these women. Yeah, passport bros. Because Western women are so bad.
Did not know about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why I'm here.
Gosh, I mean, what do you say to that, really? Passport bros is a new movement. Maybe in the United States it's a new movement, but passport bros has been a thing since I can remember. I remember in my 20s, you know, there was a few black men over here in the UK and who were going to Thailand and stuff back in the day, you know what I'm saying, before all that ladyboy stuff that was taking place, you know. But if we're going to be frank and we're going to be honest, Caucasian counterparts, you know what I'm saying, are the ones that have been, the male Caucasians have been the ones who've been doing the passport bro movement for the longest time, because they've been getting women from Thailand, the Philippines, Latin America, you know what I'm saying. Obviously, it's not as popularized back then as it is now because of social media and the advent of social media, but these things have been happening for the longest time. But the reasons why this black men in particular, I'm assuming, or this round or this generation of men are now focusing on being passport bros and why it's now a thing is because obviously we live in a different societal structure now. It's more of a gynocentric structure. It's more of a feminist structure. And women are told that they're princess, sugar and spice and all things nice and that they're entitled. And this has brainwashed modern women into believing that men are just placed on earth to serve them. So with men talking about leaving and being passport bros, clearly that's something that's going to upset them. These women anyway. Real women, they're not really too fussed about that. All right? They're too busy being married and look after their children.
I can't imagine giving this man any amount of money that I work hard for.
Come on, man.
Now, hold on. The kids are 8 and 5.
Right.
So you got to give it to him.
She was stripping.
I'm an exotic dancer.
She was stripping, Your Honor.
I'm an exotic
And that's
dancer.
how I met her. They was playing me in the club.
I'm an exotic dancer, but he didn't have that problem when we got together. And the years that we were together, he wasn't complaining then. But it's regarding my...
Do me a favor. You're making me dizzy rocking back and forth. Yeah, just... Child support is set at $2,300. You're going to do a reimbursement to Medicaid for $276, making your monthly child support payment $2,576.
That's how much you got to pay.
No, that's how much you got to pay.
Realizing is that women, especially black women, are a special kind of stupid.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The children live with him.
Thank you.
Did you have any questions about that number?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay, so so let me get this right? So because usually child support is paid from the man to the woman. That's usually how it goes, because obviously we live in a very biased society where, and it's written biased laws in which it favors the woman in terms of getting child support and hurting the man financially, you know, with using the child. So that's what it encourages in the West. It encourages the woman to use the child as cannon fodder, as a tool, as a leverage in which to hurt the man financially and to extract resources from him, which she later goes and spends, gets herself into debt and puts back into the system again, which makes the people who set up this system in the first place very rich and very wealthy. So it's just a numbers game. But I find it very interesting that she was sitting there laughing at the fact that it was 2005 and that she thought he had to pay it, when really, in respect, you're the one earning the money, so you have to pay it. you know what? It's really starting to boggle my mind, you know, how some of these women, especially those in America, are actually behaving, because what they're showing or what I'm seeing from these videos, it's not looking good, ladies. It's not looking good. And what kind of education system do you lot have? It's like, what's going on? Do you see what I'm saying? It's like the hood, not even the hood. It's like the ghetto and ratchet that live in the hood are now what's on full display for the world to see. And that is meant to be the representation of so-called American black people. This is on full display for the world to see. And if Americans are meant to be, or black Americans are meant to be, the bastion and the beacon of light of all things black and black culture and what we're meant to represent and uphold, then this is nonsensical. But let's keep going.
So that a guy that's 6'5" is going to be more attractive than me at 6'3". But why is it that when I tell a woman that's 24 is going to be more attractive than 34, they get mad about that and say, oh, no, well, there's guys out there that like older women or blah, blah, blah. The reality is you can't compete with younger women, period. If there's a bad 21-year-old and a bad 31-year-old, they're going with the 21-year-old.
Right.
Because it's rooted in pedophilia.
What I'm realizing is that women, especially black women, are a special kind of stupid.
What are you talking about?
It definitely is rooted in pedophilia. Like, all that no hair, looking young, like that's definitely rooted in pedophilia, and that's always been there.
Question for you.
Pedophilia is a psychosexual disorder characterized by sexual interest in prepubescent children.
Men liking younger women, not younger what? This is what I'm trying to say. Like, when I'm watching these podcasts and you guys are sending me these videos, I mean, the level of mediocrity is below, the level of IQ is below stupid. It's like, what is going on over here? How are you getting these stupid people to come on these shows? Is there no everybody else of intelligence that's able to articulate something of, you know, at least for the ladies on a meaningful level? Like, what kind of nonsense is this? So men liking younger women makes them map people all of a sudden? Like, what is she talking about? That makes no sense. And this is what I'm talking about when there's no guidance in the community. This is the part of what I'm talking about when I say LSG and LSG mindset. And that we've got to come with a new mindset, which has a new values, which has new principles, which gives us a different brand image that makes us look better than this, man. This is terrible. Terrible.
What if I said that women want guys that make more money and have more status than them, or more confident, because females are rooted in stupidity? How would that sound? No. I'm using your logic against you.
That's not.
I'm taking hardwired attraction traits and I'm going ahead. I'm going to make it negative. So women want a guy that's better than them in almost every physical regard. Does that mean that women are rooted in stupidity?
Now, I just want to say, while I may not agree with Myron and Fresh and Fit on everything, yeah, that's right. It's Myron, right? Yeah, Myron and Fresh and Fit. I may not agree with them on everything that they speak about, but they do speak a lot of things that do make sense biologically, you know, and this is actually quite interesting in the fact that she would make that statement without probably even knowing what the word pedophilia actually means.
No, okay. Do you think there's a lot of women who are too masculine these days?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you lot think about that?
I feel like there's a lot of ladies trying to be the head of the house.
Is it?
And, yeah. Like, a man is supposed to be a protector. He's supposed to look after you. In my
give you monies.
Yeah, give her money. Send her money to her accounts. Yes. But it's just kind of like when my parents got together, it was seen as my dad is the head of the house. Like, he would take care of the bills and whatever. But I feel like because a lot of girls are independent nowadays, it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm my own boss. I don't need anyone. Forget all of you lots. I don't need your help. But then a girl would be sitting at home crying and complaining that she doesn't have a man of the house, or she doesn't feel like anyone wants her.
It's interesting that she would make that observation and say that majority of women in the West are masculine. So just going off that notion. So if there's a masculine, there's a feminine, and we see that through the whole animal kingdom. So if modern women think that they're going to be masculine, and that masculine energy is going to attract masculine men, then essentially what they're saying is that they're dealing with homosexuality. That's what they're dealing with. Which If that's what they want to do, then that's cool. But that's not going to give them the outcomes that they want, because heterosexual men who have the masculine energy, are not looking for other men. They are looking for the feminine energy, the opposite to that. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why you hear the saying opposites attract. But if the women are actually acting masculine, and then that would mean the men are now acting feminine. So if the women are complaining that there's no good men, well, that would be because they're acting masculine. And if the men are complaining that there's no good women, that's because they're acting feminine and the women are acting masculine. So in essence, we have this crossover now, do you see what I'm saying, in the Western society that's not going to work, and it's not conducive to long-term relationships, marriage, and bearing children.
I don't like the fact that we feel like we got to talk to our women in such a sugar and spice and everything nice when we are in a crisis. 1 in 4 will marry. 80% of children born out of wedlock. And you're coming to me with the same liberal, weak-wristed bullshit. Be nicer, say it honeyed, say it sweet. That ain't got us nothing. We need some good old-fashioned truth-telling.
But this generation of women aren't receiving.
Holy shit, you're still going.
Based off of the conversations that I have with the women that detest the content.
Are they over 30?
Yes.
Do they tend to be overweight?
Some.
Any of them have children out of wedlock?
They all do. I got you.
Any of them college graduates?
I got you. I see where you're going.
Checkmate.
Yo, that's crazy. I would have to agree with Kevin on that one. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. You know, shout out to his family. I would have to agree with him on that one, because not everything needs to be said in the sugar and spice way. And, you know, I know a lot of you may not believe in Christ or follow Christ, but on this channel, I'll tell you straight all the time. Our principles, LSG, and LSG mindset is based upon the principles of the fruits of the Spirit. So Christ didn't always speak in a sweet, lily-livered tone, you know what I'm saying, like they do in the movies, and they always show you like this guy that's always, he cursed out the Pharisees and the scribes and the Essenes and you know, people that were in authority and people that were in positions of power. You know, he did that quite vehemently, you know, so, and quite forcefully, you see what I'm saying, at times. When he went into the temple and threw people out of the temple and, you know, accused them of being thieves and, you know, using the temple, using his father's house as a den of robbers, as a den of thieves, that wasn't soft words. So this misconception that, you know, everything needs to be done in smooth and soft words and stuff like that, that's a misconception, that's a fallacy, that's a lie. And that's what I will call overzealous virtue signaling of righteousness. That's what that is. Truth is truth. And what I always say to my daughters, what I say to my wives, and what I say to my family, close friends, is that truth will always hurt. That's why it's the truth. The scripture said, the scripture is like a double-edged sword. The truth is like a double-edged sword. As it goes in, it cuts asunder on both sides. Same way it cuts when you're pulling it out.
Going up to a woman, like what's holding them back from that?
Because of feminism and Me Too and all that shit. And because women will fucking put men on blast who like maybe awkwardly approach them. You see also those gym TikTok videos where girls like work out in the gym and then there's like a guy who like glances at them for like 1 second and they fucking blast them. That's what guys are scared of. And these guys they're not even doing anything wrong. They're just like innocently, sometimes they're not even looking in their direction. So there's like this social component now where like people are terrified to get like fucking exposed on social media.
That's an interesting point that he made there. You should have said, because the woman asked the question, why aren't men approaching women anymore? Now, back in my day when I was younger, it was a numbers game. You had to approach as many women as you can because most women would reject you. And because most women will reject you on the most silliest things, and the reason why most women will reject you wasn't necessarily because they didn't find you attractive, was because of their own insecurity as to whether they could handle someone that was A, either attractive as you, B, the attention. Women have an issue when it comes to attention. They want you to, because they're insecure, they require validation and attention. But the problem is they want you to give it first so that they can then give it back. But oftentimes what happens is that, especially in this modern time, what I'm seeing is that they're getting a lot of attention from social media, you know, the internet, etc. like that. And because they're getting all that attention, it's too much. It's gone into their head. It's blown them up. It's made them delusional. Do you see what I'm saying? So men, I guess, in a response, because men are logical creatures, rational creatures, so in a response to the women's behavior to the dating sexual market and their newfound freedom and liberation and the consequences of that, i.e. the Me Too movement, i.e. this whole gym TikTok video, because I have seen those gym TikTok videos, and I work out in the gym too, and I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Sometimes when I'm resting, I'll stop and sit down and have a look around the gym, because I want to see the people that's in the gym, who's working out, what they're doing, what their body type is, what kind of exercise are they holding down. So it's very asinine for the women to be making those kind of videos, and of course that's not all women, those type of women, but again, what men are telling me is that this is a majority of women in the West. So you guys, correct me if I'm wrong. If the men aren't approaching the women, then the women need to be looking at what they're doing and what they're showing. And you see what I'm saying? In order to, why they're not attracting the male gaze. Because it's a woman's job to get a man's attention.
What's the value system or the point system for a woman who cooks versus a woman who can suck good dick and fuck well?
Okay, I did a street interview and I asked the guys, would you rather have a girl that gave good head or a good cook? And most guys
they want this.
Bullshit. What men are interested in life as a whole is status. If I turn up home and I come home with my boys and she says, I'll cook you all a steak, that's status. If a woman comes up to me and goes, I'll be the best sex you ever had, I am fucking revolted. I don't want the best sex I've ever had. I want you to be pure and a virgin. You should know what sex is. Cook my fucking dinner. Shut up. Don't come and talk to me about fucking sucking dick. It's vile. It's disgusting. I don't want to hear that shit.
Can I say something?
I don't want to hear that shit.
That was an interesting video there from the infamous Andrew Tate, and I think that's Brittany Renner. Yeah, Brittany Renner. So basically, she was asked what do men want, and she said that men want the gluck gluck, right? That's what she said. Now, again, this is a common misconception that women have, and because women did not have fathers in the household or mothers which had their best interest at heart when it comes to relationships and finding good men and getting married, these women have been taught only one side of men, right? So what women are doing is that they're conflating a man's sexual need, the need to have sex, for relationship, because that's how they view sex. Sex for them is in a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Or that's how they frame it in order for them to be able to have it. So while women say, yeah, they can have meaningless sex or one night stands, whatever the case may be, that's not necessarily in their nature. However, it is in a male's nature to be what? Polyamorous or polygamous, right? So it's a very incorrect opinion when women have the notion that all men want is sex. Yes, sexual pleasure does go a very long way and is very important and is one of the most important, but not the most important component in a relationship when it comes with men. But because men lead with that first and foremost, women assume wrongly that that's all that men want. Yes, primarily that is all that men want, but it's your job to make the man want more than that, because sexually, that's all he sees on the outside, what you are. He doesn't know about your personality. He doesn't know about your spirituality. He doesn't know about any of those things because he cannot read your mind. He's not a mind reader.
Curious that women get so upset about the biological fact that most men prefer women in their younger years, mainly due to fertility, low body count, and just general attraction. And I knew countless women at the age of 19, 20 who dated 30, 35 plus men while they were young. And then all of a sudden they get to be 30, 35, and now all of a sudden they disagree with it, saying it's creepy.
So older men versus younger women. I've heard this argument so many times, and there's a very logical fallacy in this argument that they seem to be spinning around, right? Because modern women seem to have an issue with older men dating younger women. However, when I was growing up, and from time immemorial before that, younger women have always found older men more attractive. Why? Because older men usually come with the things that most women find attractive. Stability, maturity, the ability to problem solve, the ability to protect, the ability to educate and lift her up, the ability to lead the house. Because he has more experience, therefore he should be more competent in being able to lead her and provide for her in the lifestyle that she would require. Now, all around the world, in multiple cultures, across different dynasties, across different time zones, across different oceans, have all practiced, generally, older men with younger women. And this is in time immemorial.
Great-grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we are all free and independent and we can do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being...
Thank you. Clip it, slice it, put it on World Star. She said it, not me. Now that you're independent, you don't need to be with. There you go. There you go. And there you go. And there you go. There you go, black man. There it is. She's finally got one to say it.
Build businesses with us.
Your grandmothers and your great grandmothers had more trauma and more stress and did it better. They have exponentially less and they're handling it worse. But it's because they're free and can do what the hell they want to. They don't need to be with you. So you don't need to feel any guilt for taking care of you. For putting yourself first and making your passion, your purpose, your priority. You don't need to feel guilty because this 24-year-old woman just said it. They don't feel any guilt about it. Thank you.
I cannot believe that this black woman said that. I cannot. That is crazy. Do you know how crazy that is for me as a black man on the other side of the pond in the West, in the in the UK, to hear, who understands black history, who understands slavery, who understands colonialism, who understands when we ruled before that time, who understands the Egyptian rulership, who understands the African rulership, who understands the Arab slave trade, to hear a black woman say, now that we are free and equal, why would we want to work with the black man? Wow. So that's really what's in the mindset. Is that what you guys are saying? Is this why you lot want to me? So basically, because I'm sitting here talking about LSG mindset, talking about building legacy and family, talking about going back to the motherland with the Pan-Africanist idea and saying that we need to be building and connecting back over there. And you're telling me that modern women in the West are telling men that they don't want to have families, that they don't want to be mothers, that they don't want to be wives, and they don't want to work with a black man because... But then she went on and said build businesses with us, which doesn't even make any sense, which shows that Iceland, because obviously Kevin called her out, right? So then she tried to backtrack and try to change it. But this is what you guys are saying? If this is what you guys are saying, please put it in the chat and let me know, because then I need to speak to this, because I will speak to the men. And now I understand the first part of the video about the passport, bro. Because if this is what's taking place, then realistically speaking, there is no black family. There is no Western family. There is no legacy that's going to go forward. You are all going to be or marching towards a bunch of automatons ready for the enslavement. Really. You see what I'm saying? It's like, what the heck are we talking about here? This is the reality of what it is. It's like, nah, this can't be. Guys, leave a comment down below. I want to know what you think. You see what I'm saying? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm definitely going to be making more videos. I'm definitely going to try to be more consistent with it. You see what I'm saying? But please do show your support, because you see what I'm saying? They flagged this channel a long time ago because I'll be talking about the male experience over here. Family, love, marriage, self-improvement and the masculine principle. But anyway, guys, catch me on the next video. With that, it's Black Male TV and I'm out. Peace.